The empty chair, a father's promise he couldn't keep. I still remember that chair. That old, wooden chair by the kitchen window. The one that creaked every time my father sat on it. It wasn't fancy, it wasn't new. But somehow, it was the warmest spot in our whole house. Every morning, Dad would sit there with his cup of coffee, reading the newspaper, humming old songs. And every time I came running to him, he'd put the paper down, smile and say, "Come here, champ, what adventure are we having today?" He was that kind of man. Never rich but always generous. Never loud but always kind. He worked double shifts at the factory. Came home tired. And yet he always found time to ask about my day. When I turned 18, I got a scholarship far from home. Dad was so proud. He hugged me tight at the bus station and said, "Go make something of yourself, son. Don't look back, I'll be right here when you return." And he smiled. That same tired but warm smile. Years went by. Life got busy. Calls became texts, texts became silence. He'd send me messages. Simple ones like, "How work?" or "Stay warm, son." Sometimes I'd reply. Sometimes I didn't. I told myself I'd visit soon. But soon kept moving farther away. One December evening, I got a call from Mom. Her voice was trembling. She said, "Your dad's not feeling well. He's been waiting for you to come home for Christmas." I looked at the clock, then at my laptop. Deadlines, meetings, commitments. I said, "Mom, tell him I'll come next month, I promise." She was quiet for a moment, then said softly, "All right, sweetheart." That month never came. 2 weeks later, the phone rang again. Only this time, it was Mom's voice. It was my cousin. He said, "I'm sorry, your father's gone." Soft music slows down. The world around me went silent. I couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. All those next months, gone. When I got home for the funeral, the house felt frozen in time. Same photos, same curtains. And in the corner, that same wooden chair. Mom told me. He sat there every night, waiting for your call. Even when he couldn't speak much, he'd still sit and wait. I looked at that empty chair for a long time. The cushion was worn out. The wood had cracks. But I could still see him there. His smile, his patience, his silence. Later that night, while cleaning his desk, I found an envelope with my name on it. It was old, slightly yellow. Inside, there was a note in his handwriting. 5 words. "Don't forget the chair, son." At first, I didn't understand. I thought maybe it was a joke. But then it hit me. He wasn't talking about the chair. He was talking about asterisk time. About asterisk presence. About the moments I let slip away. That chair wasn't just furniture. It was the place where love waited. Where patience lived. Where my father spent his last days. Hopping, I'd walk through that door. The next morning, I asked Mom, "Can I take the chair with me?" She nodded, her eyes full of tears. Now it sits in my apartment. By the window, untouched, unpainted. Still squeaky. Sometimes when I drink my coffee, I look at it and imagine him sitting there, smiling, reading the newspaper, and saying, "Come here, champ, how's your day?" And every time, I whisper back, "I didn't forget, Dad."